Hey, this is Josh here. Nice fall day here in Iowa. Been working on finishing up parting out this 2004 S60R and pulled the engine out yesterday. Just wanted to share a couple pointers with everyone. So here's a video of the engine bay after the engine is out. This is the second R motor I have pulled out. I'm sure it's very similar for any of these P2 Volvos, and both of them had automatic transmissions. One of the things that I learned in doing this is, here you see the differential. In order to get the bolts out of the transmission, the two bolts down there, you have to pull the differential loose. And the other thing that I found that to me was really helpful is, especially if you're going to pull the head off, I before the engine was out, and then I was able to get out the exhaust manifold and the turbo and everything really easily. And so when I got that out of the way, it just gave me a lot more room to work to get out the bolts and everything for the transmission. And obviously to get the differential loose, I had to pull out the axle, so took the bolts out of the strut so I could drop that down, and then just pulled the axle right out. Took the differential loose. Once I got the engine out, I slid it back on there. There was a guy that wanted this transmission. But anyway, yeah, so for me, the easiest way was to pull the head off. Then I pulled the exhaust manifold and turbo off together. And then I could get at those bolts a lot easier than having to crawl under it. Now if you've got a lift or something, it's different, but since I was working on this out here in my driveway and it was just a parts car, I was gonna have to crawl underneath of it, and I wasn't super excited about that, so I'd rather work on it from the top. And I had already had the radiator and everything out of it, so it was actually really wasn't that bad of a job. Just kind of got in there, got that all out, pulled the bolts out. Like I said, I already had the radiator and everything off. I'd say the whole job probably took me 5 hours or so to get the engine out, but there again, I already had the head off. And so yeah, hopefully that helps somebody out. But those are, you can see the bolts. I want to say there was 8 bolts, maybe there's more, that held the transmission on, and then a couple locator pins. I pulled the starter off. Then you're able to get at those, I don't know, I believe they're like T45 Torx, and I took them loose with my impact, just to make sure I could break them loose. I didn't know how tight they would be. Came loose real easy. So, and then I just put a bar on the end of the engine, that 30 millimeter on the crank, and I was able to just turn it over and loosen each one of them. And so, yeah, hopefully that helps somebody out. Thanks a lot.